Hello there dear YouTubers, my name is King1993 and today is finally the day where I will be talking about this character which I had been waiting for. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, the character which I will be talking about is called Lingguang, the character which you are seeing on the screen. Now here is the thing, before saying anything about any of the character, let's talk about what their stats are or what type of the character they are. Now this character is called a Tian Yuan character, and basically speaking, every time you make this character into an omega level, the overall damage output of all of the teammates is gonna be higher. Okay, that is combat bonus. And for modified bonus is basically when you have all of the three character of the same zone. Okay, you will get more full at the modified mode. I have no idea what this means. Okay, now other than that, if you were to say, okay, what type of character is she in type or in terms of damage healing, she is a fire damage healer, as you can see here, fire symbol, and she's a melee type as in she will do only close range combats, and her energy regain type is called traces. Okay, so it is called combat resources, sorry, her combat resources is called traces. So let's talk about that. Okay, now first of all, before talking about anything else, let's go to the battle section here. Here I'll be giving you the proper idea of what is actually happening with this character. So you do know that when it comes to sigil, every important character's sigil is actually very an important topic. Now why is that? Because the amount of resources you have is actually very limited. So if the resources which you have is very limited, then what can you do? You can do the following thing, and that is to watch this entire video and get a proper idea of how to avoid resource wastage. Okay, so first of all, let's go to this battle section here and then click on sigil and then come to this place here, and I'll be talking about this place here. Okay, now once I have clicked on this section, I'm gonna click on these stats. The first thing which type of sigil are gonna appear is gonna be the type which is gonna be the damage type. Okay, now as you can see here, there are many types: physical, thunder, light, wind. Okay, so eventually there are only two fire types here, this one and this one. Now here's the thing, when it comes to the fire types, you'll have to understand that there are two. So if you are the type of person who will be getting Lingguang from this scan section only one piece, then you will only be needing two types of sigil. But if you are capable of making her into a omega ranking, then obviously you need three types of sigil. So which type of sigil you should be getting if you have only one S rank Lingguang, then my recommendation will be the following. First of all, go to this stats area again and then click on this. So if you were to read this description here, it says fire damage will increase by 10%, but the additional another fire damage will increase only if you are defeating other enemies, and it can stack up to 3 times, which is gonna be total 40%. Now this total 40% will only happen if you are fighting against mobs. If you are fighting against a boss, this will not occur. Whereas for this one will basically increase the fire damage by 10%. That is point number 1. And point number 2 is will increase the non-dot crit damage by 30% whenever a fire attack hits. So that's basically how it goes. Okay, so this Primordial Sun is gonna be the recommended one for Lingguang. Okay, now remember, this is only for people who will be getting only one S rank Lingguang. I'll be talking about the Omega one later. Now the second one is gonna be, okay, I have gotten one what should I call it, fire sigil. Now what is another type I need? Another type you need is the combat resources. Okay, now when it comes to the combat resources, there are total 3 sigils that are related to traces. Now if you were to read the whole description properly, then you will understand that this one will increase the attack by only 18%, nothing else. When I said nothing else, I do not mean actually nothing else. It will increase the attack by 18% and will help you gain the traces back a lot sooner. As for this one will basically increase the traces mod attack by 50%. So this one increases attack by 18%. This one increases, sorry, damage, not attack, damage by 10%. And it will also help you gain the traces a lot faster, okay? Whereas for this one, if you read this one description a little bit carefully, then you will see that it will help you gain traces once every 12 seconds. Every one of these has a time limitation as well. So this one will help you gain traces once every 12 seconds. Will make the enemy take attack 9% for 9 seconds, and it will happen once every 10 seconds. And when hitting the enemy, you will also be gaining crit damage of 15% for 9 seconds, and it can be triggered once every 1 second and can stack up to 2 times. So you'll be getting total crit damage of 30% most of the time, and another attack percentage, and you will gain traces. Whereas for this one, they are not very good. This one is very good. So if you have only S rank Lingguang, then go for 3 pieces of Primordial Sun and 3 pieces of this Decree of the Waves. But if you have a Lingguang character at Omega level, then I highly suggest that you do the following. Give her 2 pieces of Primordial Flame, 2 pieces of Primordial Sun, Prometheus Flame, and 2 pieces of Primordial Sun, and 2 pieces of this Decree of the Waves. Okay, so that's basically the recommendation. Now don't get confused. 2 different types, Primordial Sun and Decree of the Wave for S rank only, and for Omega ranking, give her Primordial Flame, Prometheus Flame, Primordial Sun, and Decree of the Waves. So that's basically how it goes. Now once you have done all of those, the next thing that you should be doing is upgrading them. That is the normal common thing. So I'll be moving on with the next one, and that is gonna be the Warp. Now in case if you're wondering, okay, which type of functor should I give her, you should probably give her the functor that is highly compatible with her, which is gonna be the functor which you'll be getting from the scan sections. As simple as that. So that is not the whole point. The whole point is how to lower the resources wastage. Now if you are gonna be coming to this warp place, then it is a bad idea. You'll have to get a proper idea of what you should be doing next. What you should be doing is to get a proper idea of which type of codes, Aether codes, you should be activating. Now I have checked most of them. Okay, now all I'm gonna say is the best one for you is gonna be the Lone Fire. Okay, why is that? Because the effect of the Shining Armor, Burning Ember, Fire Brilliant, Burning Sun, etc apply to the mod only. When entering the battle, increases mod base attack by 1 for every existing 25 points of their max HP, up to 3000 of the base attack push. So your overall attack is gonna increase up to 3000 of the base attack, which is actually a lot. That is point number 1. Point number 2 is you need these 2 here, Incineration and Sear. Why? Because this reduces the fire resistance by 10% on the enemy for 7 seconds when the skill is landed on the enemy. Now what about this one? Increases the non-dot attack of any enemy member of the team that lands a hit on the enemy, lowers fire resistance with a fire attack by 10%. So what does it mean? It basically means that in order to get the maximum benefit out of this character, you should be using this one and Incineration and Sear. Once you have done all of that, the next thing that you should be doing is to go to the chip area. Okay, now in the chip area, if you were to use this character as an AI character, like the character on the side, and you use some other DPS character, then go for these 8. Okay, for the top one, And for the bottom one, go for this one. Why? Because the overall her main damage is gonna be a lot more useful if you were to use the skill 3 and not skill 2. Okay, so which is why you should be using the flame curtain. Now once you have done all of that, then we'll be going to this warp area, and then you will get a proper idea of what you should be giving her in this warp section. Now click on the adjust skill. Now once you have done that, you will see that there are many stuffs here, and you should be questioning, okay, which one should you be using? You should be giving her melee. Now it might sound stupid, you should be giving her melee. Now why not normal attack? Because melee is basically her every attack pattern is melee, and normal attack is not skill attack. Okay, so from that point of perspective, you should not be giving her precision half, you should be giving her melee. This is point number 1. Now point number 2 is 1 and 2 is gonna be the same. Okay, in both 1 and 2 you should be giving her melee, this power up melee. Okay, now what about these two? For these two, you should not be giving her this one, because these two are basically very problematic. The enemy's HP bar is gonna be the main determining point of whether the enemy should be taking more damage or not, which is why I highly suggest that you don't go for this one, because there will be many instances where the enemy's HP is gonna be higher or lower and it is not gonna work properly. So what you should be doing is to go for another one. And which one should you be going for? You should be going for this one, telepathize force field 1. Now why not 2 or 3? Well, here's the thing, because I have already shown you which type of sigil you should be which type of code you should be activating. You should be activating this one and this 2 and this 3. So this is tier 1, this is tier 2, and this is tier 3. All of them, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Now if you were to select the proper one, then you should be selecting this one. Why? Because it will basically give you 2.5% of damage on any 3 Aether code activated. Okay, so basically speaking, for the Aether code which I basically recommended you people, okay, it will be better if you were to use telepathize force field 1 and not 2 or 3. Okay, so that is the recommendation for these 3 and 4. What about 5 and 6? For 5 and 6, I had to look at all of them and eventually had to lower it down to the point that she should be doing a lot more damage, and the only one that I could think of is skill 3. Now why skill 3? Because when you compare this character's capability to regain her ultimate faster, it's still not gonna be fast enough to you to recommend it use ultimate. And also the ultimate of this character actually doesn't hurt the enemy, it basically increases her healing capability. So don't go for the ultimate. Rather, what you should be going for is a skill 3 attack, because her skill 3 attack is actually so high. Okay, her skill 3 attack is gonna be so high that you'll have no other choice but to use this skill 3 a lot. Okay, so because of that reason, in the warp section, I highly suggest that you select this skill 3 level 2, which is basically evolution particle 3. You should be selecting this one. So that is overall my recommendation on which type of thing you should be doing in order to make this character as highly strong as possible. Now in case if you are wondering, okay, what about HP? Because this character is basically a healer type of character, why should I not be giving her healing capabilities and give her more attack type? Well, here's the thing, if you are a new person, then that is a different thing. When I was new, I basically gave her the healing sigils. Okay, but as I grew more adjusted to the game, I realized that healing sigil is not the very important part. The important part is to dodge the enemy in a proper timing manner. That is point number 1. Point number 2 is, once you have mastered that, then you basically can turn any healer type of character into a DPS character, and doing so will basically help you defeat the enemy a lot faster, and the enemy is not going to be fast enough to actually destroy all of your health in one go. That is basically not possible, which is why I basically changed all of these healing sigils to these attack type of sigils. Okay, with water damage and more crit rate and even more crit damage. So this ship of Theseus and Archeon's Obol are basically working with each other in such a way that it will benefit both of them. Okay, similar thing will happen to this character as well if you were to do as I said, and this character will be extremely strong in terms of DPS as well. Okay, so if you find this video interesting on which type of material you should be giving Lingguang by making sure that all of the resources are gonna be not get wasted, then this video will be able to help you in the long run. If you find this video interesting, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.